Gaius Van Baelsar was right. No, I'm not talking about like Stormblood. No, ARR. Let's talk about it. Welcome, the War Chief of Light is back with another epic video. Hi, my name is PBG, but you lovely people are more than welcome to call me Peeps. I was recently doing roulettes, which I don't do them nearly enough, and I don't do the complicated ones or longer ones rarely. I mean rarely. So, we went and did the bigger one. We got Praetorium like we always get, and I paid attention. We're going to rewatch it here and we're going to cut and stop and talk about what Gaius is saying, but holy shit, our boy dropped some truths now that Endwalker's over. And let me tell you, it's interesting how Square Enix has the ability to just leave a thread, pick it up later, and tell a story. Let's look at it together because it's good. Alright, so we're going to be watching the speech of Gaius Van Baelsar. Alright, we're going to be having some fun with it. We're going to stop it. We're going to talk about it because a lot of it is like, it makes a lot of sense since Endwalker. So let's look it over, alright?
Me, for whom do you fight?
Iconic line. Her little face.
Do you believe in Eorzea?
Fair question. We've all heard this speech before, so it's not like we're talking about anything new, but we're looking at it with a new perspective.
Eorzea's unity is forged of falsehoods. Its city-states are built on deceit, and its faith is an instrument of deception. It is not but a cobweb of lies. To believe in Eorzea is to believe in nothing.
Okay, he hasn't revealed this point yet. He's blowing steam.
In Eorzea, the beast tribes often summon gods to fight in their stead, though your comrades only rarely respond in kind. Which is strange, is it not?
Is it not? Wait.
Are the 12 otherwise engaged? I was given to understand they were your protectors. If you truly believe them your guardians, why do you not repeat the trick that served you so well at Cartano and call them down?
Are the 12 otherwise engaged? Because we learned a lot about the 12 in Endwalker. And we've learned that they are merely, they're essentially bigger, badder primals. Their shape, their attitudes, their everything is shaped by the beliefs of people. So yeah, are they engaged? Not really. No wonder he's telling you, hey, your gods ain't doing shit for you, which is fact, and won't going forward, which is even better. So Gaius was right. Let's keep listening.
They will answer, so long as you lavish them with crystals and gorge them on ether. Your gods are no different from those of the beasts. Icons, every one. Except for this, and you will see how Eorzea's faith is bleeding the land dry.
He's right on all points. They're Acons, basically. Our girl Hydaelyn is a primal. Zodiac primal. That's what everything in our world that we have any belief to is no different than the Beastmen. Okay, remember this is the context of ARR. Obviously things have changed, okay? But in the context of ARR, he doesn't know. But he's right. He's right on all counts. And is it bleeding the land dry? I'm telling you, he was something else. And again, the ability to just pick that thread later and it still makes sense from ARR is incredible. This line had me screaming. And to add to insult, I was the person that the second I heard that Heidelin was an Acon, that I was like, we can't trust her. Obviously. But that's what I'm saying. That's the beauty of this speech and why it's so incredible looking back on.
Nor is this unknown to your masters, which prompts the question, why do they cling to these false deities? What drives even men of learning, even the great Louis Soir, to grovel at their feet?
I don't know how much they knew. Okay? I believe that Heidelin, they may have known. I'm going to give them that. They may have known about Heidelin. But the 12 were untouchable. At least in the lore. But no, it turns out they had the same fucking thing. Chances are, if people would have done the same, we may have been able to summon Raelgar. He's right on all points.
The answer? Your masters lack the strength to do otherwise.
That wasn't the answer.
For the world.
See, that's the answer that La Habreja had fed him. Do they lack the strength? No, one, they lack the knowledge. And two, if they had the knowledge, they know it was bad. Because
Of man to mean anything, man must own the world.
okay, we're starting to the villain monologuing here. Here's where he starts to be like, yeah! Where, like, before, he was just spitting fucking facts.
To this end, he hath fought ever to raise himself through conflict, to grow rich through conquest. And when the dust of battle settles, it is ever the strong who dictate the fate of the weak.
Well, it's not who's the strong, it's who wins. And yes, they do dictate the fate of the losers. Completely. Overlap. Like, we use the example of Rome because that's the easiest. But the people that Rome conquered. If we use a more modern example, let's use North America and the indigenous population. The colonizers won. And looked what happened to the indigenous people. It's not because they were weak. They just won. Either way, he's not wrong. I would have rephrased it, but he's not wrong. And this moment was just cool.
A single path is open to the infinite ruler, that of false worship, a path which leads to innovation and death.
Again, he's not wrong based on the knowledge we know about Acons and crystals. He's right.
Only a man of power can rightly steer the course of civilization. And in this land of creeping mendacity, that one truth will prove its salvation.
So he was right up to this point, which is interesting in how wrong he is. That a man with power will conquer everything. We know La Habrea is in his ear, obviously. We know the Ultima weapon's coming, obviously. But it's interesting that such a shift came from it. And I think we can see where that comes from actually in 6.0. If you go through Garlemald, which that's a tough section. It's hard on the heart. But you see the indoctrination. It makes sense that he believes this. And we now have the proof of why. I'm telling you, this gets more interesting by the second.
Come, champion of Eorzea. Face me. Your defeat shall serve as proof of my readiness to rule.
Now, I don't know. I could Google it. So don't sit there and be like, but peeps, we're just talking off the cuff. Was he set for promotion? Was he either close to the Emperor in rank? I don't know. However, he was never going to get it. Ever. So, it's interesting that readiness to rule is what's coming up here. Was he planning a coup, eventually? Do you think it...
It is only right that I should take your realm, but none among you has the power to stop me.
Villain monologuing. So anyway, now that we have new context to the speech, what do you think? To me, it blew my mind how well it lined up with 6.0 through 6.5, and it blew my mind how you can play ARR that came out 10 years ago and be like, that makes sense. Yes, listen, it's obviously going to have inconsistencies, but the amount of them is mind-boggling. That's all I had. Something fun that I want to discuss after playing it through and seeing it and going, so, listen, you know me, okay? Speaking of knowing me, if you want to know more of me or you want to see more of my stuff, I am literally everywhere. Google War Chief Peebs or Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, you name it, I'm there. War Chief Peebs everywhere. And remember, we keep it nerdy. In the meantime, have a legendary night. Thank you so much for being here, and I can't wait to see you guys again on the next one. Bye. And we were right when we said Gaius Van Baelsar is probably a daddy. Okay, listen, I was right. That's my hope for everybody. Anyone behind a mask turns out to be some big daddy. And I won that lottery this time.